Hello everybody, I hope you're doing fantastically well. Apologies for the squeaky chair. It's a bit rusty now, isn't it? I'm getting used to this whole video thing again. It is Connor, I hope you're doing fantastically well, and we are back here with your Arsenal preview. It seems like an absolute age since I was on camera last time. Obviously you guys will know that I do have another job now, which I'm absolutely loving. It is literally the best thing ever. I talk about Leeds every single day, make content, and I'm in the media sphere, which I've been in, the media and editing sphere, which I've been in for best part of 10 years now. So absolutely loving it. So a lot of you have been asking, how's it going? It's going well. Apologies, I can't respond to sort of every single comment. But thank you so much for your continued support. It really means a lot. One Leeds is not dying. I've heard a lot of people saying that. Don't worry, it's just more infrequent now. It was every single day, it was every single day, which was great, but it was time consuming and I just couldn't get anything done. So yeah, go check out Leeds United Live. There's myself, Joe Donoghue, Joe Mewis, and of course, Baron Cross. So we're going to be doing Facebook Lives and we're probably going to be doing some YouTube and podcast stuff over there as well. So make sure you check that out for all your additional Leeds United content needs. But anyway, Leeds United are facing Arsenal, a massive calendar game, one that you look down the fixture list at the start of the season, you think, get in there, Arsenal, what a fixture that's going to be. A fixture I'm really excited for. I'm gutted we're not down at Ellen Road to welcome Arsenal, I'll put it politely. But yeah, listen, it's going to be a great game nonetheless. Leeds have got, I don't know, I think we've got a decent record against Arsenal, and obviously we're not basing this on 15 years ago, but I think we always give them a good game, and I think the playing field is going to be a little bit more level than you think this weekend. I think there's going to be a lot of people who think that Leeds are going to get steamrolled, Leeds are going to get hammered, but I don't see the evidence like that. I think we look good going forward still. I think we were wrongly sort of done out of that Palace game, after watching the full game back. I'll get on sort of my woes in a little bit in terms of what I want to change. But overall, I think we've been okay. I do massively worry about the defence. I think I've said this multiple times. I've gone on record of saying it, and I think a lot of you guys agree with me. You come on this channel for me to be raw, authentic, and real, and I'm going to say it how it is. I'm not just going to blow smoke when I'm not happy about things. But at the end of the day, look at it from a generalised perspective. We're in the Premier League. We only need 3 teams that are worse than us to stay in this division. I think there are 3 worse teams than us in this division. But I think what these last 2 games have shown Leeds United fans is that, unfortunately, we're not going to be going for the Champions League spots. We need to not stop getting carried away. Europa League's not going to happen. Mid-table might not even happen. There's a large likelihood that isn't going to happen. The way we play, unfortunately, we are going to suffer heavy defeats. And a lot of you are going to say, yeah, well, Calvin. Definitely, 100%. But what also has to be taken into consideration then is the amount of men that we push forward and essentially just leave a 3 at the back when we're going forward, and we push, 7 men forward, 3 at the back, and then the goalkeeper. Teams are going to expose us. Counter-attacking teams will expose Leeds throughout the season. That's how it's going to be. I would like us to deploy maybe a different formation in certain circumstances. I know Marcelo Bielsa has played a variation on the 4-2-3-1 at Marseille. I would like to see that in terms of maybe a double pivot when we need it, because there are going to be games like Palace where Palace just let us have the ball, Wolves let us just have the ball, Leicester just let us have the ball, and then they're going to hit us on the counter-attack. And that is where there's a massive worry for me with Leeds. It is just, is this pattern going to continue? We know it's the Bielsa way, but listen, Bielsa's not just got plan A. You look at all the formations that he's deployed numerous clubs. He might just not feel that at Leeds that he has the personnel to deploy those certain formations, those certain variations, but he has, Marseille, look at the amount of formations he used. It was ridiculous. And can he do that at Leeds? I'm sure he will do, but I think we need to be a little bit more streetwise. I think the issue is with pushing so many men forward, we could score 3 goals against Arsenal, but they could then go and score 5, and it is the quality level. We've not been in the Premier League long enough to have a depth in squad, a range of squad. We still have a championship depth for me. Starting 11 is definitely Premier League, but the depth of the squad is overall sort of maybe brings the sort of, I don't know, the overall capacity of the squad to maybe just above a championship level for me. I just think Leeds need so many sustained periods in the Premier League. We need 2 or 3 years to build a massive squad which has depth. We can bring quality players off the bench, to manage a game. And I just think at this moment in time, there are going to be teams who are learning how to play against Leeds. I think Arsenal are going to be one of them, who are just going to let Leeds have the ball. They're going to let Leeds have the ball. We've seen that with Arteta this year. He sort of did a bit of a masterstroke away at Man United where he just let them have the ball and then they hit them on the counter-attack, got the penalty. But positively, there are a lot of frailties in that Arsenal defence where I think Leeds can expose them 100%. But for me, there is a little bit of naivety at this moment in time. I think certain players are making silly errors, really silly errors that need to be ironed out, because in the Premier League, we've seen over the past 2 games, you cannot make individual errors like that. You cannot, and we've got to take our chances. And we don't need to go over this, but I think it's good to touch base. I think it's good to note that Leeds can win this game, and for me, I think we will win this game, really. And I keep saying this, but I think Leeds have the capability to beat anyone in this division on our day. But we've got to be more streetwise at the back, for me. And this isn't just a case of formation. It is a case of individual errors. Robin Koch, for me, is, I'm not going to sort of scapegoat him, but I think his performances need to improve. I think there's been sort of 4 or 5 mistakes now from Robin. I know he's getting into this period of being a Premier League player and been with a promoted side. His performances need to up for me. I think we've seen Harrison dip. I think we've seen Costa dip. There's plenty of other names that you guys will put in the comment section below. Say, Connor, why didn't you name him, and him? Because this is just off the top of my head. These are players who, straight away come to mind as maybe players who've had a little bit of the dip, and, the individual errors have to be, the crosses in from Harrison and Costa have to be better. You have to give Bamford more assistance, because we've seen this season when he gets assistance, he does really, really well. And we don't know if Calvin's going to be back this weekend. We have no idea. Obviously, the press conference is on Friday. This has been recorded on Wednesday night. And, Calvin may be back. But even with Calvin there, we saw against Wolves, you can get overrun. You really can, by the amount of players that we push forward. So there are just certain circumstances where I'd like to see us manage the game. We have to score first. For me, against Leicester, against Crystal Palace, we're letting teams in too early. We're letting them score way too early. Is Palace within 12 minutes, Leicester within 2 minutes, and Leeds are then chasing the game. We're pushing men forward, then we're getting hit multiple times. But yeah, the defence does worry me a little bit. As I say, I'm not going to come on here and sugarcoat things. They do worry me a little bit, just in terms of just silly errors which are leading to goals. The Eze free kick, a prime example, which kills the game the other day. Robin didn't need to make that tackle, makes the tackle go down. Eze, as soon as he put it down, it was going into the back of the net. But listen, we can pick holes, everywhere, can't we? But the nooks and crannies of it is Leeds United are 15th. My aim for us this season is to be 17th. I really want us to get something out of this Arsenal game, because for me, it's not just about, a must-win game as in terms of for the rest of the season. It's not. It's about confidence now. We need to start winning games for confidence. The squad don't want to be losing 2, 3, 4 on the bounce and conceding numerous goals, and we need to stop doing that. We really, really do, in terms of conceding too many goals. I've said it on here before as well. I just think it's been too easy for Leicester, too easy for Palace. I don't think they've been out of gear 2, gear 3 really to score 4 past Leeds, and it's very unusual for a Palace side to score 4. We need to start making Leeds hard to beat again. We really do. It's all well and good going forward and being beautiful, but if you're conceding that many goals in the Premier League, unfortunately, it's only one way. It really, really is. So Leeds need to start shoring up for me at the back, and I'm sure we will do. I'm sure Bielsa's been working relentlessly. I think Calvin will improve that. I think Diego Llorente coming back will improve that. Are they going to be back for this game? I don't know. If they're both not, I'm a little bit worried. But if one of them is, then it's going to give us a little bit more defensive shape, and I think we need that at this moment in time. I think against Palace and I think Leicester, it's arguably been a championship side up against 2 very established Premier League sides, so it's difficult. But we need the players back as soon as possible. I think Rafinha has to start. A lot of you guys were saying Costa, as I put on Twitter that I think Rafinha comes in for Costa. That's literally just because I think Rafinha looks better on that side. But a lot of people have said that Harrison doesn't look up to it at the minute, and I'd agree with that. I think Harrison and Costa have been poor. I genuinely do. I think they need to step up a little bit more. I think defensively they've not done the duties as well. So, you know, there's a lot of performances that need to improve, and that's just players as well, guys. You know, we can't just look at the management, we can't just look at the styles. That is up to players as well. You know, it's crosses being delivered. As I've just said, it's individual errors in tackles. It's all these little bits which culminate in opposition goals and have culminated in opposition goals. You know, the Raul Jimenez goal, someone has to get out to him quicker. We've got about 8 bodies behind, you know, in front of Raul Jimenez, and he just takes a pot shot. There's so many different, you know, Vardy getting in front of Robin Koch. Koch's got to get in front of him for that goal, which leads to I think it was the Tielemans tap-in. These are just ones off the top of my head. You know, Koch, once again, has he got to challenge Scott Dan a little bit more when we lose that? It's a brilliant header by Dan, but has he got to be a bit more competitive there? All these little sort of individual battles that aren't won, because Leeds are a team that go man for man. So it's duels. You know, we're a very unusual team like that, but someone like Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, we have to be on point with against players like that. Nicola Pepe, I know he's not had the best start, but a one-on-one duel and a man-marking system is going to favour players like that because they love stuff like that, tricky players like that who can put the ball in the top corner. So concentration needs to be high, focus needs to be very high, and you do those two things, there's not going to be as many individual errors, and that's for me where Leeds United win the game. It's cutting out the silly errors, and going forward I think we look okay. Last 2 games haven't been great, but we've been absolutely shafted as well by VAR in one of the games, and the other game was against arguably the team that could win the Premier League this season in Leicester. Who knows what's going on this year. But for me, Rafinha comes in for Costa. I would also like to see Rodrigo alongside Click. I think you see Click 10 times better when Rodrigo's next to him. I think Rodrigo helps with the transitions. He can carry the ball from our defensive third into the midfield third, into the attacking third extremely well. He's a brilliant footballer, and we really have missed him because defensively he does a job as well. He's able to gain free kicks in his own half, and I think he's a fantastic player. Having Llorente available would be a godsend. It'd be an absolute godsend because we can tamper with the defence a little bit. You know, this is someone who I watched against Portugal look fantastic against Cristiano Ronaldo. Arguably for me in that game was the man of the match. And, you know, Spain-Portugal, I mean, the amount of players you've got on show there, what a wonderful display that was. So there are many positives to take out of this. We could potentially have 4 players back for this weekend, which is absolutely huge for Leeds United. We've not had a fully fit squad yet in the Premier League, and I think when we do that, we'll be absolutely okay. I've said this before, I think it's going to be 3-2. I'm praying Arsenal don't score 2. I mean, the win I'd be overjoyed with, but I'm really conscious at the minute of Leeds shipping goals, and I think we just need to be defensively better, you know, and not be as open through the middle, and not be sort of prone to have so many unforced errors, because I think so many teams in this division, 95% of teams in this division are going to punish you, and I think we found that out really the hard way over the last 2 games, because as I've said, I don't think Leicester have been that brilliant against us. I don't think Palace were brilliant at all against us, and both teams were able to score 4. So let me know what you think in the comment section below, guys. I'm going to go with a 3-2 Leeds win. I hope you've enjoyed the comeback. I hope you've enjoyed this One Leeds video. Check out the video as well with Robbie from Arsenal Fan TV, giving the Arsenal fans perspective. Guys, have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in a bit.